Sanders attacks tax plan as Trump celebrates with friends. "You all just got a lot richer." Senator Bernie Sanders on Sunday refreshed his attack on Donald Trump's tax cuts, criticizing the measures for making cuts to middle-class Americans temporary, but those to corporations permanent.